Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is, are we having an earthquake? About a year ago, I really started getting a strong impression that the area I was in was going to have an earthquake. I had just this really strong intuition. And I would travel around to our meetups that I hold in this Puget Sound area, Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, University Place. At the time I was also going to like Lakewood and Olympia, so I covered the entire Puget Sound and just felt this out with other people to see if they were having similar intuition. Now, we're not like California that has fairly major quakes a lot, so people are kind of used to it or kind of prepared for it. We'll have a major quake once every decade or more. I think the last really big earthquake we had was in 2002, I think it was. But we're all getting ready for the big one because 200 years ago, something like that, there was a major earthquake that shifted the geology around here by about 15 feet. There weren't any settlers out here at that time. They just discovered that later. And they predicted this was going to happen in about 150 years. So I was going around the Puget Sound checking out other people's impressions, checking other people out, because in my experience, what I have noticed is that whenever there's an earthquake predicted by a psychic or anything like that, people will intuitively reflect what's going to happen. We'll have frustrations mount up. We'll have pressures come to the surface. In essence, we'll be experiencing an impending inner earthquake. And what I have seen, living here for almost 40 years, is that if people deal with their inner earthquake, if people go through these huge growth spaces and then they deal with them, then there isn't a collective earthquake. It passes us by. And if we don't, then we collectively create a huge earthquake. Also, I was playing these games where you step into a parallel universe where you have a different outcome or a different experience. So I was actually also, each time I was doing this with people, stepping into a parallel universe where there wasn't an earthquake. So I was affecting my own reality by stepping into universes where there weren't earthquakes. Fast forward to this year, and what I'm noticing collectively is everyone's having their own earthquake, and the entire country is reflecting an upheaval that's like an earthquake. And so I kind of wonder if I was tapping into the undercurrents of what was building to this year. That's kind of unusual for me. I have a short precognition, not a long precognition. So many of us are being shaken to our core. And maybe we're also feeling like the aftermath of an earthquake, where you're looking at your house and all the stuff that has fallen off the shelves and the priceless mementos that have been shattered, and you kind of wonder if you have to leave your house because is the foundation broken? Are there just cracks in the walls? So I could say that on one level, I'm grateful that we didn't have an actual earthquake that moved the geographic area 15 feet. It would have really messed up a lot of real estate, a lot of people's lives. Could have triggered the volcano, which is also supposed to erupt. It erupts every 300 years. It's been 325 years. It's actually a little easier to recover from growth spaces than it is from a natural disaster. And when you're recovering from a natural disaster, you are more alert, wiser. You have an emergency kit. You know where your important papers are. You have your bookshelves and things screwed into the walls with brackets so they don't fall over on you. You know what to do when you feel a tremor. And when you go through a personal internal growth space or a spiritual growth space or an interpersonal growth space, you know how to respond as well. You know how to do extreme self-care to get yourself through traumatic times. You stay alert. You don't numb out. You don't go into denial. Running away doesn't usually help because wherever you go, there you are. I know people who left the country 16 years ago and moved to places where they had less rights and freedoms and the local governments got even more conservative. So notice for yourself right now, what is your opportunity for growth? What is your expansion? What is the thing that you are stepping up to the plate? Is it increased ownership? Is it increased wisdom? Is it speaking out? Is it having your voice? The external collective reflects what you internally are working on as well. And I have to say, if there's a major growth earthquake, it's an opportunity for a change. It could be that you have been sitting static for a while. You have been resisting your own expansion, your own growth. So this is an opportunity for you to really have something new in your life. When we respond as the greater consciousness that we are, it is so much easier to move through these experiences. It's our body personalities that react like they've never dealt with this before. Maybe they haven't. You as consciousness have the big picture, the wisdom of all the cosmic internet. It's up to you to help your physical body through it. So take this as an opportunity, seize the day, and start to initiate the changes that you want to see in your life. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can also sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I do a weekly radio show and podcast called Conscious Conversations. I write a weekly blog and newsletter talking about these things. I also have conscious conversation meetups around the Puget Sound, in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, University Place, discussing these kind of things. I also do monthly webinars for people who can't make it here in person. And if you want to know more about navigating your life as consciousness, using consciousness techniques that really make the journey so much easier, more enjoyable, manifesting the life of your dreams, go to joan-newcomb.com and look at my coaching programs. So go to joan-newcomb.com and I'll see you in another couple days with another Mystic Minute.